From the very beginning of human civilization, one of the greatest challenges faced by explorers, traders, and travelers was the question of direction. Long before modern GPS system satellites and digital navigation, people relied on natural signs, the position of the sun during the day, the stars at night, the direction of prevailing winds, and even the shape of coastlines to guide their journeys. Yet, while these methods worked to some extent, they were unreliable in cloudy weather, stormy seas, or when traveling into unknown regions. Out of this pressing human need for reliable navigation emerged one of the most revolutionary tools in history, the compass. Its invention not only transformed how people traveled, but also changed the course of human history, influencing trade, war, exploration, and even culture. To truly understand the impact of the compass, one must trace its origins back thousands of years and follow its development from crude beginnings to its place in our modern world. The story of the compass begins in ancient China, where the earliest versions were created more than 2,000 years ago during the Han Dynasty, around the 2nd century BCE. At first, the Chinese did not invent the compass for navigation, but rather for spiritual and geomantic purposes. They discovered that naturally magnetized pieces of iron ore, called lodestones, had the remarkable property of aligning themselves with the Earth's magnetic field. When suspended or placed on water, these stones consistently pointed in a north-south direction. The Chinese initially used these lodestones in fortune-telling and feng shui, believing that the alignment of buildings, graves, and objects with the forces of nature and the cosmos could bring harmony and prosperity. These early compasses were not tools of seafaring, but rather instruments of mysticism. Yet they laid the groundwork for one of the greatest inventions in human history. By the 11th century CE, Chinese innovators began adapting the lodestone compass for more practical purposes, particularly for navigation at sea. Mariners in China recognized that the magnetic needle could provide a consistent reference point even when the sun or stars were obscured. This innovation revolutionized Chinese seafaring, allowing ships to sail farther and more confidently across dangerous waters. Ancient Chinese texts, such as the writings of Shen Kuo, described the use of compasses in navigation, proving how advanced Chinese science and technology were during this time. By the Song Dynasty, the Chinese had developed compasses with magnetized iron needles mounted on floats or placed on silk threads, making them more accurate and easier to use than simple lodestones. The technology of the compass did not remain in China for long. Through trade routes such as the Silk Road and maritime exchanges across the Indian Ocean, knowledge of the compass spread to the Arab world, India, and eventually Europe. Arab traders and sailors, who were already masters of astronomy and navigation, quickly adopted the compass. Islamic scholars describe the use of compasses as early as the 13th century, and the instrument became indispensable in guiding ships across the Red Sea, Persian Gulf, and Indian Ocean. The spread of the compass coincided with the golden age of Islamic science, during which scholars preserved and expanded upon knowledge from various civilizations. In their hands, the compass became not just a navigational device, but also an instrument used to determine the Qibla, the direction Muslims must face during prayer toward Mecca. Thus, the compass served both religious and practical functions, further cementing its place in human history. By the 12th and 13th centuries, the compass had reached Europe, most likely through contact with the Arab world or through the Crusades. European seafarers, who had long relied on coastal landmarks and celestial navigation, quickly realized the immense potential of the compass. For the first time, sailors could confidently venture into open seas far from land, even under cloudy skies. This development marked a turning point in European maritime history, paving the way for the age of exploration. With the compass in hand, explorers such as Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and Ferdinand Magellan embarked on daring voyages across the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans, linking continents and cultures in ways that had never before been possible. The compass, therefore, was not merely an instrument, but a catalyst for globalization, enabling the great journeys that reshaped trade, colonization, and cultural exchange. The European adoption of the compass also spurred technological innovation. Early compasses used in Europe were dry compasses, consisting of a magnetized needle attached to a card marked with the directions of the wind or cardinal points. The needle and card were mounted on a pivot, allowing them to rotate freely and point north. By the 14th century, Italian and Mediterranean mariners had refined the dry compass, adding protective cases and gimbals that stabilized the instrument on rocking ships. These improvements made the compass more reliable for long sea voyages, ensuring that it became an indispensable tool for every serious navigator. The compass was so vital that it often symbolized power and authority. Maps and charts from the Renaissance frequently included compass roses, elaborate designs showing the cardinal directions, as a visual reminder of the importance of navigation. As centuries passed, the compass continued to evolve. In the 17th and 18th centuries, with the expansion of European empires and the rise of global trade, the need for precise navigation grew stronger than ever. Mariners began to understand that the compass did not point directly to true north, but rather to magnetic north, which varied depending on geographic location. This phenomenon, called magnetic declination, could cause navigational errors if not corrected. Scientists and sailors alike worked to measure and chart magnetic declination around the world, integrating this knowledge into navigation manuals and atlases. Figures such as Edmund Halley, famous for Halley's Comet, contributed to mapping magnetic variation, further refining the compass's role in global exploration. The 19th century brought another major innovation: the liquid-filled compass. Invented by Edward Samuel Ritchie in the mid-1800s, the liquid compass solved the problem of needle oscillation, which was particularly disruptive on ships. By immersing the needle and compass card in a liquid-filled housing, the movement was stabilized, making readings more accurate and reliable. This improvement made compasses essential, not only for maritime use, but also for land exploration, particularly during an era when European powers were carving colonies across Africa, Asia, and the Americas. Adventurers, soldiers, and surveyors carried pocket compasses into jungles, deserts, and mountains, ensuring they could find their way even in the harshest conditions. The compass also played a central role in warfare. Armies relied on compasses for land campaigns, while navies used them to maneuver fleets across oceans. During World War I and World War II, compasses were standard issue for soldiers, aviators, and sailors alike. Pilots depended on gyroscopic and magnetic compasses to navigate through the skies, while submarines used specialized compasses for underwater operations. In the chaos of battle, when landmarks were destroyed or obscured, the compass provided a steady guide, often making the difference between victory and defeat. Its presence in every military kit underscored just how indispensable this ancient tool had become to modern technology and survival. In the 20th and 21st centuries, the compass underwent further transformation as scientific understanding and technology advanced. The invention of the gyroscopic compass in the early 1900s allowed for navigation independent of the Earth's magnetic field. Instead, it relied on the principles of physics and inertia, making it especially useful for ships and airplanes operating in regions where magnetic compasses were unreliable, such as near the poles. Later, the development of the digital compass, often integrated into electronic devices, brought the ancient invention into the pocket of nearly every human being. Today, smartphones are equipped with digital compasses that work in tandem with GPS satellites, giving ordinary people access to navigation tools that would have astounded the explorers of the past. Yet despite these advances, the simple magnetic compass has not lost its relevance. Outdoor enthusiasts, hikers, and survivalists still rely on traditional compasses, particularly in environments where batteries may fail or GPS signals may be weak. The compass remains a symbol of reliability, independence, and orientation in an uncertain world. It has also taken on deep symbolic meaning in culture and literature. To many, the compass represents guidance, discovery, and the search for truth. It is a metaphor for finding one's path in life, for navigating through challenges, and for staying true to one's direction despite the chaos of the world. Looking back, it is remarkable how a simple discovery that certain stones align themselves with Earth's magnetic field could lead to such profound consequences for humanity. From mystical rituals in ancient China to the high-tech smartphones of the modern era, the compass has guided human beings, not only across the seas and continents, but also through centuries of progress. Without the compass, the great voyages of discovery might not have been possible. Global trade routes may never have formed, and the modern interconnected world could have developed much more slowly. The compass is thus not merely an invention. It is one of the cornerstones of civilization itself. The journey of the compass from lodestones to digital sensors reflects the broader journey of humanity. Our constant quest to explore, to understand, and to connect. It shows how human ingenuity can transform natural phenomena into tools of survival and progress. It illustrates how one small step in science can open the door to global revolutions in trade, war, exploration, and culture. Even as technology advances and satellites circle the globe, the humble compass remains an enduring reminder of where we came from and how far we have traveled. In conclusion, the history of the compass is a story of human curiosity and resilience. It is the tale of how an ancient tool designed for spiritual alignment became a force that aligned entire civilizations toward exploration and discovery. It is a testament to the enduring power of simple inventions to shape the destiny of the world. From the decks of Chinese junks to the caravels of European explorers, from the deserts of Arabia to the trenches of Europe, from the jungles of Africa to the pockets of modern hikers and the hands of smartphone users, the compass has guided humanity for over 2,000 years and will likely continue to do so for generations to come.